My name is Rabel Ajeng Sulistyo Kusumaningtyas, F100200336, majoring in psychology. And this is the first time I made an assignment video for my YouTube. This time I will cover several topics include prejudice and discrimination, social cognition, perception of people, attitude, control and social cult, persuasion, propaganda, and marketing, attraction, romance, and love, nonverbal communication, and then bullying. So, let's start from prejudice and discrimination. Do you know what is the difference between prejudice and discrimination? Prejudice is a negative attitude towards something without any underlying reason for that person. And then, discrimination is the difference in the treatment of fellow citizens based on skin color, class, ethnicity, religion, economy, or something like that. There are several examples that might make you better understand prejudice and discrimination. For the first, homophobia. Homophobia includes a range of negative behavior and feeling toward homosexuality or towards people perceived as lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender, or we can say LGBT. Homophobia can be expressed in the form of antipathy, humiliation, prejudice, disgust, or hatred based on irrational fear and is often linked to religious belief and belief. The second example is sexism. Sexism is prejudice based on gender. Sexism is often directed at a woman. So what is meant here is a negative assessment of someone. And then someone is a woman. Sexism can be referred to different beliefs or attitudes, like the belief that one sex or sex is more valuable than another, male or female chauvinism, or misogynistic hatred of women, or misandrist hatred of men, distrust of people of different sex. The second example is racism. Racism is the belief that race is a fundamental determinant of human traits and capacities, and that racial difference produce inherent superiority to certain race, like many cases injustice black people. So we explain. So I want to explain second topics. Second topics is about social cognition. What is social cognition? Social cognition is a subtopic of various branches of psychology that focus on how people process, store, and apply information about other people and social situation. It focuses on the role that cognitive process play in social interaction. Technically, social cognition refers to how people handle information of a kind, member of the same species, or even across species, such as pets, including for stage, coding, storage, retrieval, and processing. In the field of social psychology, social cognition refers to a special approach in which this process is studied according to the method of cognitive psychology and information processing theory. According to this view, social cognition is a level of analysis that aim understand social psychology phenomena by investigating the cognitive process and that underlie them. The main concern of this approach is the process involved in the perception, judgment, and memory of social stimuli, the influence of social and affection factor on information processing, and the behavior and interpersonal consequence of cognitive process. This level of analysis can be applied to any content area in social psychology, including research on intragroup, and intergroup process. The third topic is perception of people. Everyone has a different perception. Perception is a response, acceptance, directly from something. The process of person knowing several things of their five sense perception is an advanced stage of social cognition. The fourth topics is attitude. Attitude is an evaluative statement of an object, person, or event. This reflects a person's feeling for something, like when we feel upset, we show a cold and pitchy attitude. The fifth topic is control and social cult. Social control is social control is a technical and strategic effort that prevents human behavior from deviating in society. Social control occurs anywhere, for example, in family, in school, in community, or wherever there. Most people who violate existing social norms will be given sanction or punishment and reward for doing something related to social norms. Meanwhile, the social cult is a social flow or ritual like a norm. For example, when you live in the village and always come home at night, it is something that violates norms and is certain or is cultured to get social discrimination is environment. Sixth topic is persuasion, propaganda, and marketing. Persuasion is Persuasion is a communication that is used to influence and convince others. Tough persuasion, each individual tries to influence and belief and expectation of others. In principle, persuasion is an effort to convey information and interact with humans in a condition where both when communicating with others, each individual hopes that the message conveyed can be understood and believed. Persuasion is strategy that can be used so that messenger can be conveyed, understood, and trusted by others. Persuasive communication lets others persuade, be free to do whatever they want to be won after the persuader tried to convince them. Persuasive communication emphasizes openness, trust, democratic management practice. So, propaganda. There are several definitions of propaganda. Having studied this will definitely answer well. Terence Quarter defines them as deliberate attempt by some individual or groups through the use of communication instrument with the intention that in certain situations the reaction of those who are affected or what the propagandists want in the world. Deliberate efforts lies the key to the idea of propaganda. It therefore seems clear that any promotional action can only serve as propaganda if it forms part of a deliberate campaign to produce action through attitude control. In this definition, the emphasis is placed on the goal of changing the attitude, opinion, and behavior of others by using communication method. Therefore, the aim of propaganda, according to this definition, is to persuade the target to accept the propagandist's view. Therefore, Thai ideas that are propaganda can be counted scientifically in order to arrive at a truth. Propaganda content is seldom completely true, even if it is not completely false, as is often suspected. Marketing is an activity, a series of institutions, and the processing of creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging over that are of value to customer, client, partner, and the general public. The seventh topic is about attraction, romance, and love. Attraction or attractiveness is a quality that causes us the attention, interest, desire, or attraction to someone or something. In general, attractiveness is a definite info to namely visual attraction in form of visual stimulation and physical attractiveness in the form of psychology features that are considering beautiful or pleasant. When people turn their attention to people who have attraction, romance will emerge, which is a love story. Love story can be established if there is love on all sides. The eighth topic is about nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication is communicating without words. There are many types of nonverbal communication, namely object communication, touch, chronemics, body movement, phonemic, proxemic, vocal, and environment. The next topics is bullying? Bullying is the use of force, coercion, or threat to abuse, dominate, or aggressively intimidate. This behavior is repeat often and becomes a habit. One important prerequisite is the perception by bullies or others of an imbalance of physical or social power. This imbalance differentiates bullying from conflict. Bullying is a subcategory of aggressive behavior characterized by the following three criteria. 1. Hostile intent. 2. Imbalance of power. And 3. Repetition over a period of time. Bullying is a repetitive activity, aggressive behavior intended to hurt another person physically, mentally, or emotionally. Bullying ranges from one-on-one individual bullying to group bullying called mobbing, where the bully may have one or more lieutenants willing to assist the main bully in their bullying activities. Bullying at school and work is also referred to as peer abuse. Robert W. Fuller has analyzed bullying is the context of rankism. Swedish-Norwegian research and although said bullying occurs when a person is exposed repeatedly and from time to time to the negative action of one or more older people, and that negative act occurs when someone intentionally injures injury or discomfort in others through physical contact, through words, or in some other way. Individual oppression is usually characterized by someone behaving in a certain way to gain power over others. All social aspects are very important for mental health. We also have to be able to create and find an environment that makes us comfortable and happy. When you feel stress, you will unconsciously produce toxic behavior, either self-harm or mental health problems. So, start with yourself, create and find an environment that suits your personality. Avoid yourself from friends, family, and toxic environments. This is for you. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the level of stress jumped drastically. Material to many cases of suicide. There are examples and situations when an individual who can't adapt, cannot create, and cannot find a comfortable environment for himself. So, start with yourself. Bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.